Alright, y'all, good morning. Give me just a moment. This is a bit of an impromptu Fitbang. Simply to answer the questions people have been asking me. Yes, I'm doing alright. Yes, I am totally feeling better. In fact, I have some good news. Now let me get started before I go into that. As some of y'all know, the last couple of months, I have been putting up with a lot of health issues. It stemmed from the initial food poisoning, which spiraled me into very low calcium, and then I had to watch my iron. It was a balancing game. I was in and out of the hospital until we figured it out. I also had a vitamin D deficiency that I didn't have in the South because I was constantly outside gardening, taking in sun. But here, where I'm living now in Michigan, we have days like this where the sun is completely covered by clouds and we get really harsh winters. So between that, getting sick, I tanked my system. So the last couple of months, I've been working hard to get back into fitness, and it has been easy. The supplements they have me on were messing with my digestive system, and it was just a lot to try to balance. And so I, like a normal person, let people know in the community tab when I wouldn't be around, when things were off. I even had to deal with a bit of a blockage as well. And thank God they didn't have to do surgery for. But I had to spend 4 days with a GI tube down my system to try to inflate my intestines enough to get things pushing through. This isn't a trauma dump or complaint. It's just the realities of being 40 and almost 50 and recovering from a lot of stuff I did to myself. Even with the health journey, and I hate using the word journey, the health quest that I've been on for the last few years. You can still stumble, you can still hit roadblocks. But when I tell you that I'm in a much better place, we figured out a lot of the medication stuff. We are back to weights because I'm not feeling a twinge anymore. And I really do think that was colon related as well. And I got weighed on a bariatric scale and I'm down another 4 pounds, which officially puts me at 40 pounds lost altogether the last 3 months. I know for some people it's not a big deal, especially with the exercise that I show y'all, the change in my diet. I know some people think you're going to hit rapid weight loss. No, you plateau. When I was in the 500s, yes, what I'm doing now definitely would have seen more weight loss. But the point isn't rapid weight loss for me. The point is steady routine that keeps me mobile, keeps me breathing, keeps me active and functioning, keeps my heart without plaque, keeps my lungs doing well, and keeps my liver, kidney, and other internal organs functioning at a way that doesn't hurt me. My PJs are looser. I am going to be getting into that 1X clothes that I bought for myself soon, and I'm excited about that. I know some people are like, 1X, that's still big. It is. But when you consider that I used to be in a 5X, if not more, I think it's a damn good achievement to get down to 1X again, and probably below, depending. I think, for me, listening to the Heffa, and we had a week of her fuckery, y'all, including her mukbangs at a healthy restaurant, which she still managed to carb load. I don't like buffets that much because I'm always leery of the germs and other people touching stuff. But even at a nice buffet, there are way better protein-based, veggie-based things she could have loaded up on and not spent so much money. $40 for a lasagna, mashed potatoes, and kimchi don't make no sense to me. You could have went to a Korean barbecue, got some authentic kimchi, probably fed your face for a shit ton less. So I don't know. But y'all know how I feel about the heifer and how she behaves, including that we were Team Seagull. I'm not even gonna lie. Watching her eat in that park, talking about, oh, there's a guy in the truck. If he comes after me, I'll tell you the license and the make and the model. It's like, ma'am, you don't own the world. People are allowed to use public spaces too. The fact that she really went there thinking somebody is gonna mess with her when nobody knows you there. Nobody really wants to know you like that. So stop it. Today she's allegedly getting the help she's supposed to be getting with therapists. We all know like everybody else, that's probably going to be her complaining and pretending to be the victim and not really talking out why she needs to feed her feelings. But getting back to that pizza thing, because it pissed a lot of us who like animals and love animals off when she was throwing them the crust, hard-ass bun, and other stuff. You should not feed animals human food like that. It's just not good for them, especially birds. We had a pond when I lived in North Carolina that had a sign clear. Seeds, cut up grapes, no bread. Do not feed the ducks or the geese that kind of stuff, because it gives them a condition that makes it harder for them to fly, and it fucks with their digestive tract. It's just like giving cats milk. I used to believe that you could give cats milk. I'm a Gen Xer. We grew up on those popular household and pet myths that you had to undo. And then we found out that most cats are highly lactose intolerant. It fucks with their system. So Callie, Miss Kitty, and Max, they don't get milk. They get water, and they get good food. And I just do not understand the people that are blasé about stuff like that. Why would you getting bubble guts would be miserable? Why would you want to put an innocent animal through that? I just don't get it. But it ain't a Chantal video without her explaining animals. We all know it. I think what fucks me up the most was she ate that whole pizza, which I know to her, well, it wasn't a large. It was at least the size of a medium. I know she tried to call it a small one. It had way too much cheese on it, to where when it coagulated, it looked thicker than the crust. But she said it wasn't enough cheese. Then you add that she said in the car after eating it, she wasn't full. Yet again, harkening back to the Kuwaiti mukbang where she ate a full pizza and a burger and fries meal and said she wasn't full. I said it in the YouTube Underground Yabish chat today, and I mean it. She is a reincarnation of Tarrare. Now, I remember watching this very funny, talented young man, Something University. He's on there. He does animation. It's basic animation, but it's funny and it's good. He went over Tarrare, and I had Greg watch it with me because it was just so funny, and I love history and science and all that stuff. Well, the story of Tarrare is a French man who back in, I believe, the 16 or 1700s, had a condition where he just binge ate anything and everything from animals to trash to any food he could get his hands on. He was stealing food so much, his family kicked him out of the house. Whew, which is rough. But back then, kids didn't get as much attention and attentiveness as they do now. His parents kicked him out. He went around being a sideshow on the street for a bit, eating whatever people gave him for coins and to get more food. Seems familiar, right? He gets drafted into the war. They figure out that he could smuggle, because they were fighting against Prussia, I believe, back then, that he could smuggle documents in his gullet and get it over to them. The problem with Tarrare was he was extremely illiterate, and all he wanted to do was eat. So he was captured by the Prussians, who didn't believe him at first. The officials that he was supposed to talk to and get these papers over to. And then he pooped it out, and they were just amazed. So he did his job, got back, and still was binge eating. Got put in a hospital where a 1-year-old literally disappeared. Back in the day, it was crazy. They didn't think about having security, even in French hospitals. And he was credibly accused of being the one that ate that baby. He had already been caught eating live kittens, cats, puppies, and other crap. He was a real monster. Well, Tarrare, after years of literally binging and abusing his system, got too sick to survive. He caught tuberculosis, and he was in the hospital being miserable. And I mean, the man had so much of a stench, which is another reason his parents kicked him out, that the doctors didn't even want to autopsy him. But when they finally did, because I think there was a rumor he ate a gold fork and people were looking for that too, they saw that his stomach stretched his entire system. And the crazy thing is, unlike Chantal, he didn't really show visible signs of being obese. He had an odd shape, but it wasn't like super big like me or her or anybody else who normally stuffs their face. He really did look oddly shaped, but not super rotund. But when they said in the autopsy that his stomach stretched from like around up here, upper chest, all the way down, they weren't joking. And it was just amazing. And so watching Chantal this week, doing these mukbangs, trying to defend it, saying, well, if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. Sometimes you're going to be in my apartment in Kuwait, and mukbangs are part of that. And it's like, do they have to be? Do they really have to be a part of your routine? I would much rather look like a whole ass fool on this bike, sweat my ass off, than to be shoveling unnecessary amounts of food in my face. And like I said, I don't get offended when people assume I binge eat anymore because I know the truth. I don't get mad when people think, well, you're the same as she is, because honestly, I'm not. I'm willing to put myself out there. I don't care what people think about what I'm doing. I just think it's better to talk from you on this bike, showing what sustainable weight loss is. It's not rapid, but I'm proud of the 4 pounds I went down. Every pound that you go down from your hard work, especially after you plateaued, matters. And it doesn't matter if it's 1 pound or 2 pounds, as long as you keep pushing and doing what you need to do. Nobody said weight loss is easy. Nobody said everybody can just do it without help. But if you're not willing to take the steps at all towards being fitter, why are you doing this? Like, she talked a big game the other video I seen. I didn't even get through all of it because my side eye activated. And I can only take so much to the heifer. We're talking about, I'm going to get on track. I know I got to get it together and exercise and all that stuff. And it was like, yeah, perfect opportunity. And like I said and watched in Girl World Island's video, she sped up the alleged 15-minute walk, where you've seen that she was walking in some form because of the way the camera was bouncing. And look, I'm not anti-waddle. There are still some times where my ass gets tired and the waddle walk happens. But for her to act like she actually walked 15 minutes, when anybody with basic editing skills knows she sped up the video footage, it's like, come on, Chantal. You're not lying to us. You're lying to yourself. And like I said, you got to start somewhere. I started 10 minutes of exercise, and it used to take me the fuck out. I was so out of breath and out of shape. I hated it. But I keep plugging away. And it is my goal to get back up to close to an hour, if not over an hour. I'm not going to overdo it, because like I said, I promised my partner, step by step, taking it easy. I only wanted to record these Fitbangs once a week too, because I do like to just listen to what I'm listening to in my earbuds, get my exercise on, then work on the stuff that I got to do for the day. I normally don't like oversharing. But I told you, 5 days of routine activity with 2 days of rest have been a blessing for me, has shown results. I might not always see them because I do suffer from that body dysmorphia where I still feel like I did when I was over 5. I do, and I probably will always have those feelings. That feeling of, oh my God, if I get down, I can't get back up. And I know that's not true. But when you've been that big, your mind just can't let that go. And like I said, I show the visible scars of binging and purging. I don't run from it. I don't hide from it because I did it to myself. And when you can be honest with yourself, that's the best step in the direction of getting your life together. I can't play the games of, oh, it was trauma. Because trauma did help. But it was still me making a conscious decision. I can't blame my mental health because that is a struggle. But it's not enough to say I didn't use food to cope. When you're honest. And that's why I'm saying this, because it is supposedly today, Heifer's going to this therapist to talk about her issues, but she isn't going to come correct. We all know that. We all know she's going to blame trauma, she's going to blame upbringing, she's going to blame YouTube and the haters, and she's not going to take ownership of why food gives her such a dopamine hit, why it brings her so much pleasure. And it's sad because even with changing your life, you'll hit setbacks, you'll hit roadblocks. And the thing is, with a roadblock, you can either walk around it, walk over it, or power right through it if you're coming correct. But we know Chantal isn't coming correct. We know that she is just parroting shit she watches online, including my videos. And I just want to say, I get those who say don't pay attention to the negative comments. And normally I don't. That's why those comments that I've put into the void will never get aired. When I see Heffa's clear socks, and it's clearly her, it's so sad because I know her vernacular by heart now. Coming after my work, which, at least I'm public, bitch. Can you say the same thing? No. Coming after me saying that we're the same, I honestly not. You know, by 40, I was in where I needed to be. I decided I wanted to be a serious writer. I decided I wanted to be a homeowner. I have a loving partner. And things were falling into place because I kept at it. And now at 40, almost 47, I'll be 47 in a couple of weeks, y'all. I am in a good place. So if you're trying to say body-wise, I don't think so. Because Heffa went to that Tiger Mart, went to the section that said between a 1 and 3X and said, oh, they'll probably not have things that'll fit me there. I can't relate. Right now, I really am between a 2 and 3X, and I bought 1X clothes because I'm determined to get down into them again. Like I said, at my best, after the weight loss surgery, I got down to 1X and below, and it was a good time. And then I started emotionally eating during the pandemic like a lot of us did. There's no excuse. But between being sedentary, putting too much food in my face, I let it all go again. And I got back up into the 3s. And is that fun? No. Especially since I carry my weight so oddly. From here down under my boobs, it's not as much fat collection unless I eat too much sodium-based stuff, which I try to avoid. But my legs, the rolls from my stomach and everything will always make me look bigger because I don't want skin surgery. I know some people say, fuck that, I would just get the skin surgery. It is a lot and painful procedure. It is dangerous too. And honestly, I have somebody who loves me, rolls and all. So I'm lucky. I'm not vain like that. I don't give a fuck about that. And neither does he. So it worked out. I don't think about what I look like in a swimsuit because I ain't trying to show off. You'll never hear Tarrare calling herself a beauty. It's not because I hate myself at all. I have enough self-worth to realize that I give more to this world than superficial. I like substance. I like science. I love science fiction. I love fantasy. I love my family, my friends, my life. So when I say that when people attack me on my looks especially, okay, it's not that I am being smug or arrogant like some heifers. I just don't care. And for those of you who keep asking me what the dozens are, I know that some of you grew up in the MTV phase with Nick Cannon wilding out, where they go against each other at the microphone, trading insults. Well, take that setting and change it to a family gathering, whether it's a barbecue or a birthday party or just to meet up for a sports event. You got your aunties, your uncles, your cousins, your immediate family especially, just sitting there talking about how broke you are, how fat you are, how ugly you are, talking about something you care about, just in an insult form. And that's the dozen. And if you're good, you can give it back. Because with family, we all know each other's business a lot of times. And it's real easy. And the winner normally is the one that makes somebody mad or gets them to tap out and be like, hey, yo, too far. You know? It's different for people who didn't grow up like that. And I know it. But when I said the dozens and Hannibal's chat and a few other chats that we all grew up with that kind of stuff, several Gen Xers knew what I was talking about. There was Uptown Comedy Jam that used to come on, and I'm not sure if they showed it outside New York. I know Tracy Morgan got his start. And that show, they did the dozen. Back and forth, the comedians would just insult each other. There was a YouTuber here who tried to bring that back. I'm not going to mention his name because he likes to slide into my comments too, talking about he ain't going nowhere. So, no, I will not invoke you, failed comic, but I will say that you tried. And I think that when you grow up with that level of insults thrown at you just by people who are supposed to love you, what strangers say online, and make it funny. That's all I'm asking. If you're gonna go at me and waste your shot, shoot your shot, be funny about it. Like the whole, I bet your grammar and your book will suck. And I bet if you said an audiobook, you would be like Gopher. Hi, Chantal. I knew that was your stock. We know you only ingested Winnie the Pooh by watching the cartoon. And no offense, I love the cartoon too. When Kiddo was a baby, I did his whole nursery in that Winnie the Pooh because I loved it. Animation drawings. So I'm not anti-Winnie the Pooh. No Ping here. But I feel it's funny that you said my voice reminds you of Gopher. I'm not offended. Voice actors are amazing, stupid. I just think it's funny that you now think that my work is worth attacking. Once again, I put in the work to get my work finished. I'm working on the second book and getting that finished. What do you have for yourself besides binging and whining and lying to people who still want to support you? You told them Sam was in a bad situation with a cat that was attacking him, and that you were getting an apartment. You put down a down payment for an apartment in Canada, all to find out that was a lie. You say your visa status is nobody's business, but you're already planning to go to Malaysia, and we know it's not because it's jet setting. Why can't you come correct? I've said it time and time again, especially after enjoying Dank Fupa's 90 Day the other way. If you had been smart, Heffa, which we know you're not, no shame. I don't claim to be a beauty, but I know I'm definitely mentally more cognizant than you are. You could have turned this relationship, having to go back and forth, having to get around certain customs and other things, into actual viable content. Would people have clowned on you? Yes, because you're a terrible person. Fat or no, you've given us 7 years of terribleness. And to your beezers who like to say, I don't understand why they're so obsessed with you. Gaslighting your ass and giving you ass pats you don't deserve. Nobody's obsessed with Chantal. She puts this shit on the internet. She wants to be critiqued. Just like anybody, even my ass, putting myself on the internet is prone for both critique and criticism. You can't control it. But the fact that you keep saying shit like that shows they're just as delusional as you are. And another thing about the Kuwait stuff, because I know like a lot of us, I was pissed at her war comments. Like I said, grandfather's flag that he was on his coffin is up on my bookshelf because I'm a military brat. My dad served Vietnam. Grandpa Billy served in Korea. Grandpa Arthur in World War II. We took war seriously. It's not a joke. And when you see, especially what's going on in Israel and Palestine, the shelling, the fact that tens of thousands of people are dying daily, women and children seen fleeing and bloody, the fact that they can't even get humanitarian aid in there without those workers being fired on. For anybody to joke about being able to handle it or being able to hide and throw things, are you fucking for real? Do you understand that even if Kuwait is not directly involved in the conflict, because they share a direct border with Iran, who is now inserting themselves after the embassy attack into the conflict? You are in a shell zone now. You are in a zone where imports might dry up. There may be an issue with even importing regular foods. You could end up having to go on rations because of your social status. It won't affect actually wealthy Kuwaiti citizens, but it will definitely impact people on your level. And I know you hate hearing that, but it's the truth. So for you to be so flippant, so Western mind about Kuwait, when nobody's saying shit about Kuwait, nobody said that Kuwait was a poor country, but it is an import-based country. And if you had any idea about geopolitics or geography at all, you would understand that. I'm sure the wealthy will be fine, but everybody else, that's going to be a fucking struggle. And that is the real of war, whether you want to accept it or not. And if you think that if the shelling did start hitting Kuwait, which it did when Iraq invaded Jews under Saddam Hussein, and you're just going to go to the Canadian embassy or petition Canada to get your big ass out of there, you got nothing coming. You will not be a top priority because you made the conscious choice to go over there. It ain't about dissing Kuwait as a country. There are beautiful areas in Kuwait. Wish I would have seen them. But, I guess the beach and dark restaurants and the trash bag litter place that Scatman walked allegedly, because I won't patronize the video. I've seen pictures. The garbage outside was enough for me to go, nope. I don't want to watch the Grapists anyway. But for you to act like you're this lofty Canadian queen or passenger princess to go into a place that could potentially be dragged into the conflict whether they want to or not, and that you're on a social or status level that would be protected if embargoes happen, if imports dry up. What are you going to do when you can't get those big ass family platters of food and rice and kebabs? What are you going to do when rolling blackouts happen and you can't run the AC during the summer? I honestly don't think you think things through. And you're so flippant about everything from your health to this conflict to the potential impact of the home. You keep calling the hamster and Julia and Salah your family, but if you cared about them, you would be moving heaven and earth to bring them to a more safer zone. And if he cared about you, he would not want you to come back there and be in potential danger of not being able to leave if shit goes south. But like I said, you want to clown on everybody for looks, but you'll never clown on many of us have loving, substantial relationships that we don't make the main focus of our channel because we don't have to. When you've got the real, you don't have to brag about it, you don't have to show it off all the time. I think the problem with you is that you only can show love through superficialness. You can only feel validated when you show him off. And that's why the relationship doesn't feel real. Doesn't feel like it's going to last much longer. And if you do manage to get past Canadian immigration, because I know it's not the same as here in the U.S., it would be damn near impossible to get him here to the U.S. One of my favorite creators to watch, Moist Critical, has been trying to get his esports team here, and they're Australian national. They don't even have the same embargoes and other flags against their nationality, and he's having a hell of a time. So, like I said, I know it's a different country, different immigration, but I don't think it would go well for you. Because like a lot of us believe, the moment he got good and deep into that soil, and once he didn't have to be indebted to you to stay there anymore, which I know she could use against him for a bit, he'd be out. Not only that, but with the amount of bullshit that you do online, the amount of smugness, the amount of lashing out at people, and with the amount of receipts people have of him talking about raping on a cross and a Bible, I don't think you're going to have a happy Canadian life no matter what. And like I said, I'm no snitch. And any of you who watch me, you do not have to snitch. But I can't control the internet. And you've had 7 years of people looking for you. That's why your ass got time out on your birthday. I laughed at your attack on me. Because I knew it wasn't true. But you gave a lot of people who didn't like you exactly what they wanted. So I'm just giving you a warning, Heifer, as I wrap this up and go get unsweaty. Whew. If you bring him there, you better not try to do a couple vlog with him right off the bat. You better not try to act like this was always your plan, because we have several sound bites saying you want to go back to Kuwait. He doesn't want to be here, even though we know that's a lie. He had it on his profile that he wanted to go to Canada. We have you saying who wants papers. You're only lying to yourself, and you're going to make your life even more of an unnecessary mess doing this. And it's like I said, might not always look like it, because I have my roles. I have my loose skin. I have a lot of stuff that I've got to work on. But I'm losing. And the weight loss is very steady. So thank you all for watching this one. I will be back next week with another one. And I'm going to try to get back to the once a week format, because I really do like to do this and be in the zone. Pedal a little bit faster, even though the bike makes noise and stuff. And I do want to get back up to an hour, so I've got to keep at this. But I just want you to understand that the stuff that Chantal doesn't say, it only hurts her. But I'll see y'all soon.